Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear cadets of class 7, welcome you all to this online Islam and moral education class. Dear cadets, how are you? I think all of you are fine. By the grace of Almighty Allah, we are also fine. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. It is a regular introducing slide. I am MD Muhammad Muradullah, lecturer in Islamic Studies, Borishal Cadet College, Borishal. Dear cadets, now coronavirus awareness. Dear cadets, you already know about the pandemic situation all over the world because of COVID-19 or coronavirus. Our Bangladesh affected day by day and it is increasing. So we have to maintain some awareness as like wash your hands often, wear a face mask, sanitize constantly, stay at home, avoid close contact, avoid crowd places, cover, cough and sneezing. Dear cadets, if we maintain or if you obey this awareness, inshallah, we will be safe from the deadly disease that is coronavirus. Dear cadets, without no more delay, I would like to declare today's discussion topic. Our today's discussion topics is Risalat, Wahi, and Akhirat. Chapter 1, lesson number 8, 7, 8, and 9. Learning outcomes. Dear cadets, after listening to the lecture, inshallah, you will be able to describe the idea of Risalat, Wahi, and Akhirat. Analyze the significance of Risalat. Explain the importance of Wahi and believe in it. Describe the importance of belief in Akhirat and introduction to Sirat and Mizan. Motivate themselves to lead a moral life through believing on the Akhirat. First of all, Risalat. Dear cadets, Risalat means message, carrying of news, letter to send information. Risalat and another literal meaning is to carry a letter, news, to disperse our responsibility of any noble task. In the terminology of Islam, Risalat denotes the conveying of the holy word of Allah to mankind, and the person who performs this duty is termed as a Rasul or messenger. In the other sense, Risalat to convey news or message or disperse it to another addresses. In the perspective of Islamic view, the Prophet or Rasuls are the messenger who carry the message of Allah or define rules and regulations to mankind. It is first or founded duty to have faith in the Risalat and the Prophet and Rasuls. Purpose of sending Prophet and messengers. Dear cadets, Allah the Most High has sent innumerable prophets and messengers throughout the ages. They were not sent without a purpose. Rather, they carried out the obligation of prophethood and messengership. For doing so, they had to perform a huge amount of work. To maintain a few of these important what mention may be made hereof. Number one, they would introduce Allah to Most High to man. That means they would reveal to men essence, attributes, authority, bounties, etc. of Allah Almighty. They would call upon men to lead a life to truth and beauty. Number three, they would teach men who how to serve Allah and performing religious rites and rituals. Number four, they would inform people about the next life, that is Akhirat. Number five, they would offer practical instruction for the implementation of the commands and prohibitions and rules and regulations proclaimed by Almighty Allah. Importance and significance of belief in Risalat. Dear cadets, it is obligatory to Islamic philosophy of life to believe in Risalat. Mu'min and Muslim has to believe in Risalat along with believe in Tawhid. This has been nicely depicted in the Kalima Tayyiba. In the first part of this Kalima Tayyiba, La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. Tawhid has been established. Alongside this is the second part, Muhammad Rasulullah. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the messenger. Risalat has been proclaimed. So, parallel with declaring faith and in Tawhid, Risalat too has to be professed. Dear cadets, the prophets Rasul were in the special gift of Allah to mankind. They used to invite people to Tawhid, that means oneness of Allah, and warn them against the sin of shirk, kufur, and nifaq. They taught them noble character and moral education. The main spirit of their invitation is to propagate in the oneness or one entity of Allah the Great and His rules and regulations for mankind. So, the Holy Quran says, Ya qawmi abudullah ma lakum min ilahin ghayru. Meaning, oh my community, you should worship Allah. You have to ilah except Allah. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah Ta'ala created man and jinn only for His ibadat. In fact, the very duties and responsibilities of the Prophet and Rasuls are called Risalat. To highlight the significance, Allah Almighty further says, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. Meaning, I have sent the holy rules to every nation in order to ask all to worship Allah and to leave the taguts, that means the extreme disbelievers. Surah Nahl, ayat number 36. Dear cadets, the Prophet and Rasuls perform the duties given by Allah Almighty rightly. Those who have practiced their allegiance to Allah and have been successful will abide by the ideals of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in all walks of life, and then we are sure to success. Number two, Wahi. Dear cadets, the Arabic word Wahi comes from the root word Waha, and it used to describe divine revelation. It has a variety of variety of different meanings in the Arabic language, being interpreted as quick or defined indications to, to give or convey a message or gentle speech. It is also means the gesture, wink, and secret word. Generally, a message secretly sent to anyone is called Wahi. In the Islamic terminology, the messages that were revealed from Allah to His prophets and His messengers are called Wahi. As an instant, Almighty Allah revealed our Quran to our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So Al Quran is on kind of Wahi. In the another sense, Wahi is informs given to the prophets by Allah in the form of a book through answers or through dreams. It is called also Wahi. Revelation of Wahi. Dear cadets, Almighty Allah sent Wahi to the Prophet and Rasuls, Prophet or Rasuls, and the messengers in different ways, as like in the form of dreams, in the form of directly into the heart, in the form of sound of a bell, revelation brought by an angel in the form of a man, revelation through an angel, his true form. Allah directly inspired to prophet without the medium of an angel. Allah convey the message directly to the prophet. Lastly, Allah convey the message through an angel. Dear cadets, among those main two methods are famous, that is through angels. Almighty Allah convey His saying to the prophet and Rasuls or messengers through the angels. Like for example, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, the angel is the chief Wahi messenger. He came to the prophets and messengers with the message of Allah. Number two, through direct speaking. Example, the revelation, the Holy Quran on our great Prophet Hazrat through Jibreel by Allah. Number two, through direct speaking. Sometimes Allah spoke to the Prophet and the messenger for Rasul directly. For example, Allah spoke to the Prophet Hazrat Musa on the mountain Tur. Allah also spoke to our beloved Prophet directly at the night of Miraj. Kind of Wahi. Dear cadets, there are two kinds of Wahi. Number one, Wahi Matlu. It is the kind of Wahi that is recited. That means Matlu means recited. For example, the Holy Quran. The Quran Majid is called Wahi Matlu because it is recited in Salat and another places, or every time we should recite this for the satisfaction of Allah or gain rewards. B. Wahi Ghayr Matlu. It means which is not recited. Example, Hadith Sharif. Hadith Sharif is not recited in Salat, so it is called Ghayr Matlu. But it is the Wahi, because in this regard, Allah Almighty says, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ وَاحِي يُوحَىٰ. meaning Prophet Muhammad did not say anything of his own desire. Rather, it is a wahi that was sent to him. So, the saying, activities, and approval of the great Prophet ﷺ is called hadith. It is called also wahi ghair matlu. Hadith is also part of wahi. It is the as the Prophet ﷺ did not say anything on his own, rather he said everything being directly by Allah. Importance of Wahi. Dear cadets, Wahi is the most important part of the revealed book because without Wahi or through medium revealed book not prove that it is a heavenly book. That's why Wahi is a very important issue. Wahi is revealed directly from Allah through angel Jibril salam. It is infutable knowledge. There is no error or doubts. The messages of Wahi are beyond all doubts. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This kitab, there is no doubt. Wahi is the origin of all knowledge and science. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, Inna anzalnahu tibyanan likulli shay'in. Allah gathered all knowledge in this, rebuilt on the Prophet, our great Prophet Muhammad in the Quran. Almighty Allah bestow mankind with all types of knowledge through Wahi. As the knowledge is revealed from Allah, it is complete and incomparable. We know well about our house. We can tell correctly that there is our house and where they are kept. No outside can tell it. Likewise, Allah is the creator of the whole universe, and He created everything by His own miracles. Everything is being controlled by His directions. He knows so well that there is no the art and in which conditions. He is aware of the past, present, and future of everything. So, the message and knowledge He revealed are unquestionable. Nobody can refuse such knowledge. All Al-Quran and Hadith are revealed through Wahi. We can know all rules and regulations of Islam through this. We can get the knowledge of Tawhid, Risalat, Akhirat, Heaven, and Hell, etc. also through this. Number 3, Akhirat. Dear cadets, there are two parts of the human life. Number 1 is worldly life. Number 2 is Akhirat. Dear cadets, Akhirat means to the life after or afterlife. The life to come after man's death is called Akhirat. There are two phases in man's life. I earlier said these are this life here and the hereafter. This life here is the worldly life, and the new life that brings immediately after man's death is called the hereafter or Akhirat. Dear cadets, life after is everything everlasting. It has a ring but no end. In the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty said, "Innama hadhihi al-hayat dunya mata'un wa innal akhiratu hiya darul qura darul qarar." This life in this world is nothing but a thing for temporary enjoyment. But the life after death is the permanent abode. No doubt. Surah Ghafir, verse 39. Importance of believing Akhirat. Dear cadets, believing Akhirat is one of the most important aspects of Iman. It is fundamental to believe in Akhirat. A man cannot be a believer without believing Akhirat. Akhirat is one of the most important issue of Iman. It is Islamic philosophy of life. Belief in Akhirat is indispensable. The importance of this belief is also immense. Without belief in Akhirat, it is not possible to become a true mu'min. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ, meaning, and they hold firm faith in Akhirat. In addition to belief in Tawheed and Risalat, belief in Akhirat also is very essential. No one can become a Mu'min or Muslim without belief in Akhirat. For the success in the next life or Akhirat and getting paradise, one must believe in Akhirat. Without faith in Akhirat, man departs from the truth path and goes astray. Allah Almighty says, وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِاللَّهِ وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ وَكُتُبِهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا بَعِيدًا. Meaning, and if one disbelieve in Allah, His angels, His scripture, His prophets, and the last day, one will go astray. Surah Nisa, ayat 136. Dear cadets, believe in Akhirat restrain man from sin and inspired him to virtuous deed. For the man believing in Akhirat knows that he will have to stand before Allah in Akhirat and account for all his deed on earth. As a result, a man believing in Akhirat inspired towards good deeds and refrain from evil deeds. Thus, man shuns bad conduct and acquires good manners. On the other hand, he who disbelieves in Akhirat indulges in sin and indirect activities in the fast chance available for he does not have faith in accountability in the next life. Thus, disbelief in Akhirat leads to a spread of oppression and sinfulness on earth. A man believing in Akhirat cannot ever indulge in sinful and obscene act. On the other hand, belief in Akhirat is very important for human life. It renders a man's life responsible, clean, pure, and graceful. Dear cadets, we shall develop firm faith in Akhirat, and for salvation in the Akhirat, we shall perform honest and nice deed and lead our life by following the Islamic rules and regulations. Some stages of life in Akhirat, dear cadets, we are discuss only two stages. Here, number one, Sirat. Dear cadets, Sirat literally means path, way, bridge, method, etc. In the terminology of Islamic Sharia, Sirat means to track bridge installed on the hill. A various servant will enter paradise after crossing this bridge. In the next life, all men will have to pass through his bridge. In the Holy Quran, Allah the Most High Grace says about the Sirat, and every one of you will have to pass over it. It is an inevitable decision of your nourisher or Lord. Allah in Arabic, وَإِن مِنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَى رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مُقْضِيًّا. Ayat number 71, Surah Maryam. In this regard, our great Prophet Muhammad says, يُوضَعُ الصِّرَاطَ بَيْنَ الظَّهْرِ جَهَنَّمَ. The priest will be placed over the hell. Musnad Ahmad. Allah the Most Great will permit his virtuous slaves to go to heaven. The virtuous will cross the bridge to enter paradise. The priest will be white in proportion to the virtues. And the believers will cross the bridge with easy and entitled by virtues of their good deeds. Some will cross the light and rapidly, some in the speed of a storm, some in that of horse, some running, some walking, and still other crawling. The Sirat is a dark bridge. A mu'min and virtuous man will find their light. But those who are not mu'min and those who are sinner will not find light arranged for them. So he who has found faith and more good deeds at their command, the Sirat will be more light for him. He will pass the bridge easily in the light of Iman. On the contrary, those who are not mu'min but the sinner, Allah will order them to go to hell. The Sirat is a very frightful place for the inmates of hell. For them, the Sirat will be narrower than the stitching pin and sharper than the sword. Under such conditions, they will not be able to cross the bridge by any means. Rather, they will fall into the hell in a very pitiable manner. Mission. Number 2. Dear cadets, mission means the instrument or balance for measurement or skill of balance, measuring balance. The Islamic term, the measuring tool that will be used for weighting the sins and virtue of human being on the day of judgment. It is called mizan. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, وَنَضَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِسْطِ لِيَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, meaning, and I will set up a standard of justice on the day of judgment. The sin and virtue of man will be weighted on the balance. He that will find the right hand of balance heavier will enter paradise, and he that will find the left hand of mizan heavier will find his place in the hell. Dear cadets, we have to certainly seen up a scale of balance. It has two scales and a scale in a middle. We measure many things with this scale. Mizan is such a scale. All the deeds of human being will be measured with the two scale. On a scale there will be all virtues, and on the other scale there will be all sins committed. In this regard, Allah Almighty says, فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خسروا أنفسهم في جهنم خالدين. Meaning, then those whose scale of virtue are heavy would reach their goal, and those whose scale are light, they put their soul is first. However, they will remain in the hell. Surah Mu'min, verse 102 or 3. Dear cadets, so we will learn this two dot and recite more and more. This will make our scale of virtue heavier. Allah will love us and will gain success in Akhirat. There are two du'as. Alhamdulillahi tamla'ul mizan, meaning saying Alhamdulillah fulfill the scale of fairness. Versus another dua is Subhanallah wa bihamdihi Subhanallah al-Azim. The purity and praise are for Allah, and He is great and the most sacred. Dear cadets, now question answer session. Dear cadets, with this we have come to the end of today's class. If you want to ask any question on this lesson, just leave it in the comment box. I shall be happy and remain present to answer it. Homework. Dear cadets, there is a homework for you. It is based on Akhirat. Dear cadets, read this CQ question carefully and prepare the answer at your home. Next class, dear cadets, your next class topic is Quran Majid, chapter 3, lesson number 1. Dear cadets, again coronavirus awareness, because without awareness we cannot save from this deadly disease. So we have to maintain some decorum or some very important awareness, as like wear mask everywhere, especially when you will go to the outside of at home. Wash hand frequently, minimum 20 seconds. Boil your food properly. Avoid close contacts. Use soap or antibacterial gel. Cough on your elbow, not your hand or ear. Keep your distance properly, at least minimum 1 meter. Regular sleep or rest. So, dear cadets, if you maintain this awareness, inshallah, we will be safe from the deadly disease that is coronavirus. Thank you. That's all for today. We'll meet in the next class, inshallah. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Stay home, stay safe.